welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since my last upload and I decided to just give you guys an update on what I've been watching in terms of BL. I've been recently reading and what Danmeis I've recently picked up. Before we start the video, please give it a like and comment down below what you guys been watching or reading during these crazy times, and let's get started to the video. So I've recently finished watching this Thai BL called Cage. I follow Sun and Junior who go through some magical transformation of being animals to humans, and was originally a Black Panther, and Junior was a penguin, and how they have to navigate through an all-boys boarding school as humans. And it was so cute. I cried. I loved everything about it. Sweet, fluffy. However, there is a bit of a melodramatic aspect of it, as there is a B plot of the two characters trying to figure out how to save the other zoo animals who have been abducted by one of the zookeepers who is trying to sell them for illegal pet trade, which sadly is something that's very common that I've seen, where that B plot was really interesting to me and how they navigated as high schoolers and having their friends and even the faculty, albeit through possession of a ghost. But everything about the show is just so sweet. I absolutely adore the fact that they kept the intimate scenes very age appropriate, because if I'm not mistaken, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, the main leads, they were 18 at the time of recording the show, so the intimate scenes weren't too intense, which I absolutely appreciated, because there are other shows that I'm going to mention later in the video where I was taken aback, like, whoa, aren't you 18? This is just a little bit crazy. But overall, I gave that one like a 4 out of 5. And what I really appreciated about this particular series was they gave us a time skip, and usually most Thai BLs, there are time skips, but it just feels like it was just added for more content, not more to progress the story. But this one was just so sweet, because it does show what they do after graduating and how the relationships for both pairings, both the main couple and the side couple, how they move forward in life. And also we have a surprise pair couple whose wedding was recently documented. So if you love that particular couple, which I'm not gonna say who it is, but comment down below who you think it is. I watch most of my BLs, the subscription-based platform Gaga Ulala, and on there you can see other types of BLs from different parts of the world, so like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, China. So that's where I usually watch most of my shows, if not on Viki. But again, like, if you guys really want to have like a cutesy, kind of dramatic, a little supernatural BL, I would highly recommend this one. And it's pretty short. It's only like 10 episodes, so I think it was a pretty good pace BL given the premise of the series. The other one that I recently finished, 4 Minutes, yeah, so this one was a little questionable, because I did know that there was an age gap for one of the side characters. I just did not know it was that big, so I really had to just kind of like block it out in a way to continue watching the series. Now 4 Minutes is very intense. I would highly urge you to read the trigger warnings. Don't be like me and go in blindly, and read the synopsis. Please read the synopsis. Like, I thought the series was just gonna be a little time travel for the main characters and him trying to fix his mistakes and how it affects his future, present and past. but it was more than that. And whoa, wowza, that was a series. I won't really delve too much into that one because there's various other YouTube channels or channels around that give a more in-depth discussion on 4 minutes. Personally, it's not one I would rewatch again, but I did appreciate the plot. It's just the side character relationship was not my cup of tea. And again, everyone is allowed to have their own opinion, but that one in particular, I just did not fully subscribe to. Let's just keep it like that. So the other BL that I watched was a Japanese one, and it is the Japanese version of the Thai BL Love in the Air. I did watch the Thai one, and that one was really good. I did not finish it mainly because of the second couple pairing. Wrong with the relationship, it's just the backstory for the second couple pairing was just a little too much for me personally. Now the Japanese version is a little bit shorter than the made it more, I wouldn't say believable, but it just seemed more plausible, I guess. I'm not too sure, but I did like the Japanese version for the first half of the series, and then for the second half of the series it's the side couple. Even for the Japanese one, I just watched the first half because the second half, and this is where the Japanese and the Taiwan differ greatly, but again, I didn't fully finish the Taiwan because it was just a bit much for me. The Japanese one really went into detail as to what happened to this character, and it made me a little uncomfortable, so I didn't really fully completely watch that one. Again, for that one in particular, please, please read the trigger warnings, read the synopsis. The synopsis doesn't really give you much as to what goes on for the side couple pairing, but let's just say there's instances of sexual assault, and it was just a little too intense for me in particular. But that one, I give both the Japanese and Thai versions like 3 out of 5. And the reason for that is because just the scenes of the assault was just a bit too much for me personally. But overall, I did enjoy the portrayal of the Japanese versions of how they were reprising the roles of the Thai one. It was really good. And the Japanese actor Shoma, he was in another Japanese BL that I watched. So it was really nice seeing familiar faces, and he did such a good job. So if you want to watch ABL with bad boys going good, you can watch that one too. Now, the most recent BL that I'm watching right now is Heart Killers. Now, that one, I waited until all the episodes were available on Gaga Ulala because I just wanted to fully immerse myself into the series and not wait, because I'm okay with weekly releases. However, when the stories are kind of more intense, I would rather just wait until it's all released and then I'll just watch it. So I'm currently on episode 2, and it has been a roller coaster. So it follows sibling assassins who are assassins by night but burger joint owners by day, and how they're infiltrated by these two best friends who, one of them fortunately has like a criminal background, and to protect his brother, he agrees to work the police to uncover the sibling assassins. However, their relationship, like every pairing is slowly falling in love with each other. So I'm actually kind of curious how it's going to fully pan out. And boy, please, boy, oh boy, this is another one I urge you to who look at the trigger warnings. There are instances of unaliving characters, be mindful of that. Again, I'm only on episode 2. I hear after episode 3 things get really crazy, so I will update you guys on that one. But so far I'm enjoying it. It's almost comedic in a way, but not like slapstick humor. It's just like, it's like, damn, you really are going through all of this all because you just had a one night stand. Like, it's quite hilarious. So I would again highly urge you guys to read the synopsis and to check the trigger warnings, because it does get intense. I will probably give an update on the whole series once I'm done with it, but until then I'll just keep watching the show. So the most recent BLs that I've read, like manga forms, have been the recent volume of Black or White, Volume 9. We follow both of them as they navigate through the industry as actors, and basically all the trials and tribulations of the entertainment industry, being part of the LGBTQ community, and how disastrous it can be once you're outed into the industry, and the potential of losing all any job offers. And we follow both Shin and Shige as they have to come into terms with that, especially with Shige as he's very protective of Shin, and Shin is such an aloof, kind of a klutz in a way. He's so innocent and very gullible, so he's 10 times out of 10 in some type of crazy trouble that Shige does his best to protect him from. And it's not like the slapstick comedic trouble, it's like people in the industry trying to point him out as like a bad person, or people trying to set him up for infidelity cases and things like that, and using him as bait. So I really appreciate the work that the author did to do her research on how it's just really difficult to be in the entertainment industry and also be fully out and proud, given that yes, we live in a modern era, a modern age, but still being part of the LGBT community is still frowned and can cause difficulty in securing even the most basic things like housing. So I really enjoy this series, and it's almost over, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's 10 or 11 volumes. Volume 10 comes out in June, and volume 11, I believe, comes out in December. So I am excited to see how their story wraps up, and I would love if this got a live action. Like, who you would like to see play the characters if this was to get a potential live action? Like, who would you want to play their characters? I'm excited to read down in the comments below. The other series that I got caught up with was Given. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh. Given. Wow. So when Given was first like being talked about, I just slowly collected the volumes because I wanted to have a good amount that I can read the story without any interruptions. And my goodness, this series is just so good. So it follows these two high school characters and two who are in college, and they form a band, and one Suka and Mafuyu, and they're how they become friends and slowly something more through the power of music, which sounds a little cheesy. However, like, this series is just so good. It deals with a lot of grief, acceptance, and forgiveness for oneself, especially when you believe you are the cause of misfortune. And for Mafuyu in general, he carries this heavy burden of losing his first lover, um, give through depression, and through unaliving themselves. So this series does a good job on describing how when you're going through grief, it's a constant wave of up and down. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're not, and that's okay, because grief is something that you slowly learn to accept and try your best to not move forward, but to incorporate the memories of that person that you love into your everyday thing. Being, for instance, for Mafuyu is using his past lover's guitar and their performance once they form a band. And I really appreciate that for this, because a lot of BLs, when they talk about griefs, it's more of a one and done kind of thing, and then it goes straight into like the intimacy scenes. But because this series has been spread out through many years and lots of volumes, it really gives you the opportunity to understand each character and what they're going through. So I have been enjoying this one so much. I'm excited to receive the last volume, which is crazy. And hopefully I'll watch the anime, and if I do, I may do a review on that one as well. Given has been my absolute fave story so far for this year. And I know 2025 just started, but I've been loving this one a lot. And then the last BL that I've read was The Vampire and His Pleasant Companions. I have waited like a year and a half for volume 5, and you know what? It was worth the wait. So, okay. So it follows Al and Akira. Al is a half vampire who somehow magically got into Japan because he fell asleep in a meat packaging facility that had a shipment in Japan, and then he wakes up as a bat and is like, why can't I read anything? Where am I? And he finds himself in Akira's home, because he is an embalmer, and the scent of blood attracted Al towards Akira, and how they have slowly but surely formed a relationship. So their relationship is of like a will they won't they. Like, Al absolutely fell in love with Akira, like that was love at first sight. But Akira has, because of his profession, he's very cold towards people. But when he's embalming the corpses for the funerals, he shows so much care and affection for these people, so that their families can close that chapter of their life. So Al finds that so endearing, and naturally he falls in love with him. But Akira, so far we don't know much of his past, but there's been bits and pieces of he may have had a troubled childhood, and that's why he's not very affectionate towards Al. However, there are instances throughout the series where there is a little bit of jealousy, but again, hopefully in volume 6 we may have progression. But this one is just so cute, it's so sweet. And Al, before he was a vampire, he wanted to be an actor, and unfortunately he fell down. He went through the shady side of the industry without knowing, and in one of his shoots he was seduced by a vampiress and that's how he becomes a vampire. But because of that, in the process of turning into a half vampire, his body's dead, so his parents naturally did the whole funeral. But when he rises again to go home, his parents are just like, oh my god, you're a creature, you're a monster, get away from us, like you stole our son's face. And he finds refuge in the meat packing facility, and that's how he ends up in Japan. But living in Japan, he confides in Akira that he wants to continue being an actor, even if it means that he has to have a change of clothes once he turns into a bat at night, but he wants to continue that profession, and Akira tries his best in helping him with that. So there is some comedic aspects to it where sometimes once it's daytime it's a bat, but at night he's a human, and that transition between human to bat, there will be some some nudity scenes, and he's been put in jail a couple times because naturally, if you walk into an office expecting to see a fully clothed human and you don't, you would call the police. So it's been really, I've been enjoying this one, and I'm so excited to read volume 6. So in terms of Danmei that I've been reading Heaven's Official Blessing. That one is just one of those, I have to get into the right headspace for it because it's just, that story is just so not heavy in a bad way, but there's just so much in it that I really want to like dedicate my time and truly and fully absorbing myself in that one. But I'm still reading Heaven's Official Blessing. If I'm not mistaken, I'm on volume 6, so I'm almost done. 2 more to go. So far I've been enjoying everything about it, and I'm so excited to see the movie that came out recently through Bilibili, or I think that's the website, and the streets are saying, the streets being Twitter, it's supposedly uploaded on YouTube as well with the subtitles. So I will definitely be watching that. I suggest that you guys read that too. Another series that I've picked up is the Husky and his white cat Shizun. I've seen a lot of positive reviews on this one. I actually got this particular volume during the same time when I was purchasing my special edition sets of Heaven's Official Blessing, and I loved the artwork. Like, one thing I will say about Danmei, the artwork goes crazy. Like, I absolutely love how intricate they get with all the designs. Like, it's just so pretty. And this one, I've been seeing a lot of positive reviews for it, so I'm excited to read this one and to just get into it. The other series that I purchased was The Stars of Chaos, and apparently this is on Netflix. Correct me if I am wrong, but apparently this series there is a live action on Netflix on this one, either a live action or the animated version. I don't have Netflix, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's true or not. But the Stars of Chaos by Priest. I picked this one because I love a good enemies to lovers series, and apparently this one is a good one. Priest has other series that are available as well, but this one was just the only one that I could pick up at my local Barnes and Nobles. Danmei that I got from Barnes and Nobles was Dinghai Fusheng Records. So I recently got this one as well, and I did not realize it was a comic. It says it right there, but I still was like, there's pictures in here. But I really enjoyed this one so far. It's really funny. Like, high key, the prince breaks the fourth wall a lot, and it's just comedic to me. And his savior is just very deadpan, like, you're either coming or you're not. Like, I'll leave without you, but are you coming or are you not? Like, we have to save the world, don't we? So it's really cute, and basically it follows Chen Sang, who is the vast great exorcist, Divine Land, which is the setting for this series, and he has to find his partner, the protector, and he does, but he finds him in jail, and it's just kind of funny the way he finds him. He finds him like all roped up, and the king of that land is like, you want dusty, crusty guy that we have in the jail cell? Like, are you sure? Like, and me, mind you, the king is like, we called for a magician. Are you the magician? He's like, I do have powers, but not the kind of powers that you want from me. And they're just like, what? And he's like I have this one trick, and he shows his hands lighting up, and they're like, oh, so you are a magician? He's like, no, I'm an exorcist. And they're like, same difference. So it's very comedic. I've enjoyed this one so far. I'm not sure when volume 2 comes out, but this one, if you want a little hee hee ha ha, but with some drama in it, this one is a good one to pick up. Artwork is really really nice. Like, I really been liking this one. And then the last thing that I've been reading has been from the library. Support y'all's local library, please. Given this the time that we are in, please support your local libraries. I've recently been going to the library just to save myself some money, because my library, bunch of BL mangas. Like, I don't know who is donating their BLs, but thank you, girl, or thank you, guy, or thank you, them. Like, thank you, because I've been just going to my library and picking up a bunch of books and reading BLs that I would love to have in my collection, but just I don't have the space. So go to your local library, please. The most recent thing I got from the library is this comic called Genderqueer, a memoir, and I haven't read it yet. However, I did pick it up because I'm trying to expand of queer media that I consume. So I recently picked this one up, and I haven't started reading this one yet. However, I just really appreciated the overall cover design of this one. So yeah, go to your local library, guys. Like, there's so many resources at the library, you would be amazed. And there are options as well for you to like order books as well. I haven't done that yet, so, but from what I've read, you can order books through the library system, and they can try their best to secure that. And that also helps with like independent publishers as well, just so that there are more people who are interested in their books and potentially contributes for them getting a sale. So again, go to your library. So that's everything that I've been consuming so far for the beginning of this year. I have noticed that on Gaga Ooh La La, there are more GL shows on there, so I'm gonna be tapping into that as well for this year. I do have a lot of Yuri mangas that I have, but there's sadly not like a big demand as there is for BL. So hopefully more publishers will be contributing to more releases. And yeah, that's all I've been up to so far. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please comment down below like what you guys been recently watching, reading, consuming, or anything, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.